$20 horse, $40 saddle. I'm a-gonna roping those longhorn cattle. Come a ki yippee 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 yay. Come a ki yippee yippee yay. We'll take 'em up Kansas, we'll put 'em in the pen. That'll be the last of the old bartend. Come a ki yippee 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 yay. Come a ki yippee yippee yay. Saddle and a seat to the sky. Quit my boss and I said goodbye. Come a ki yippee 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 yay. Come a ki yippee yippee yay.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Guitar Cast. We are here this time with our guest, Mr. David Volk. Dave, how are you today?
I've been better, but here I am.
Here we are, and Dave and I think we met at a bluegrass jam here in L.A. I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago by now.
Your memory's better than mine.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah, a few years ago at a jam. There's a handful of jams in town, probably fewer today than there were. I don't even know if there are any going on right now.
You need to start one again.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think we quickly found that you definitely knew your way around bluegrass guitar and also some gypsy stuff, some swing, that kind of thing. Those
are two areas that I work on, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How long you been in L.A. and where'd you come from before then?
Moved here in 90 from Colorado. I was got out of the Army in Colorado. And moved here, worked for the health department. And that's so many years ago, I'm about ready to retire out of the health department. Yeah. So that's what brought me here.
Okay. And where along that story did you get into guitar?
Well, I was 12 years old.
Okay.
Monkees.
The Monkees.
Mike Nesmith.
All right.
The Beatles were the big bang, but then the Monkees were on TV every week. And
yeah, there you go. You didn't have to wait once in a blue moon.
I could see Mike play the guitar, and I thought that was very cool. Yeah, we started, I took some lessons. My dad took me to a pawn shop. I got 2 guitars, an acoustic, and like a little thin line arch top. Mm-hmm. One of them Japanese or Italian ones with a lot of buttons on it, switches and buttons.
So you had acoustic and electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had lessons from Joe Goff at age 12, which I learned a little bit, and then I let it go a few years.
Uh-huh. That's what happens. And so when did you see bluegrass for the first time? What was your kind of light bulb moment there?
Well, I don't remember if it was Andy Griffith or Beverly Hillbillies. There was also, I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, there was also a Saturday morning show that either had Jim and Jesse or Dale McCoury on it, like sponsoring for a car dealer or something. I don't remember.
Right.
But it was one of those two bands, and I heard it and I liked it.
Yeah.
Nobody else liked it. I did, but I liked it.
Yeah.
So I must have been 7 or 8.
Sure,
then.
Dale McCoury. I mean, he's still one of the greats.
Yeah. He was in York, nearby me.
Is that where he's from? Is that?
Well, Delaware, but he was living in York, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and so what are you playing right now? What is this?
This guitar?
Mm-hmm.
This is a Martin D16, which is a fancy 18. Mm-hmm. It's got, they make them now in the custom shop, but it's got an advanced X brace. It's got scallop braces, and it's fancier. It has tortoise trim on the back. And it's got a zipper strip on the back, which a regular D18 doesn't have any of that. It's plain. Mm-hmm. And a D18 would have rosewood fretboard and bridge. I believe this is striped ebony. So it's a fancy D18. I found this used in San Diego about 10 years ago, I think.
Okay. And how many guitars do you have total? I know you're somewhat of a collector.
I cannot disclose that fact. I have a bunch of guitars.
Yeah.
More than several, but a bunch. I don't collect them. I just
Yeah, well, you play a lot of them. I've seen you with a different guitar.
I have 3 flat tops for bluegrass. I have several arch top guitars, Gibson, so forth. I have 3 of the guitars that we call gypsy guitars, but what they are is what was made in Paris in the 30s and 40s by Italian luthiers for what was then jazz. And
Right.
it just so be that Django and all the gypsies, anyone playing jazz, got their hands on those kind of guitars, the Selmer Macaferi type, rather than Gibson archtops, which weren't many over there at the time, if any.
Yeah.
So I have 3 of those, and I got a collection of lap steels. I got mandolins and a couple banjos and ukuleles.
How's your lap steel chops?
Good. I have a dobro. I got pretty good at pedal steel guitar in the style of Jerry Garcia. I was in a band when I was in my 20s, and I was the 3rd guitar player. I got to play pedal steel and slide guitar, straight up slide guitar on a regular. I played the solo, the intro on Freebird. We did a lot of New Riders and Grateful Dead and so forth, and I played the Jerry Garcia pedal steel parts and some banjo too, which I didn't quite nail, but I got close enough to fake some of it.
Yeah. So, you ever play one of my favorite Jerry Steele songs is "The Pride of Cucamonga"? You know that tune?
Sure.
Yeah, and he was
I think Les wrote that one. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he sings exactly. Yeah. He's singing on that one. He wrote it, but that's Jerry on Steel.
Jerry did what we call, I don't know, it's West Coast. West Coast style.
How would you describe that?
Bakersfield, he had turned the twang up even more.
Right.
Norm Hamlet, J.D. Manis. I'm leaving somebody out, but the Bakersfield sound.
Cool. So, why don't we play a little something here? How about "I'm a Pilgrim"? Do you want to do this one in G? You want to go up to A?
Yeah, let's do it in G. I'll sing a couple of verses. This is a gospel tune, but it's a blues gospel. So,
yeah.
You want to take one off the top?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right.
Stranger traveling through a wearisome land. I've got a home in that yonder city, good Lord, and it's not made by man. I got a sister and brother who have gone on before. I am determined to go and see them, good Lord, over yon that other shore. I got trials and tribulations. I got trouble on every hand. I've started for that city, good Lord, and I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. Cool, man. I think the first time I heard that song, I was, getting into bluegrass and stumbled upon a Clarence White video. I forget who was singing on that one, but Clarence is playing, and it's a real straightforward chord progression and real straightforward melody, but you get a lot of chance for some blues stuff in there and a lot of room for, some licks, and it's a real fun one to play. A nice, easy pace, easy tempo.
It's bluesy. Oh, yeah.
It's real bluesy, yeah. So,
That's Merle Travis, I believe.
Is it Merle Travis?
I believe he's the source on that one. I'm not sure, but Clarence in his L.A. era here was exposed to Joe Maphis, Merle Travis. They did that town hall party show out of Compton, country music show, and he was exposed to all those hot pickers. And so, I mean, he didn't drop out of nowhere. He definitely was influenced by those two fellas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talked about this before, the Ash Grove, which was the sort of premier bluegrass and folk venue in Los Angeles for a really long time, and now I believe it's the Hollywood Improv, same location. I played there a few months ago, and it's a comedy club now, but it's the same building, and they're kind of starting to try and revive this folk scene there. But tell me what you know about the Ash Grove, or just any sort of did you go? Were you going to see a lot of shows?
McCabe's.
At McCabe's is
yeah,
kind of the
I missed
place
the
now,
Ash Grove era. I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed the Troubadour era. When I got out of high school in '73, I think the Troubadour had just passed its heyday. But if I had been a couple years older and got out here right away, I would have been in the middle of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The Eagles were born there, and Ronstadt and so forth. In 70, 71, yeah.
Right.
But I missed that. I didn't get out here for that. But
well, and McCabe's is still rocking, and they're still kind of that's still kind of the venue. So who have you seen at McCabe's?
Tim O'Brien pretty soon when I got here. Recently, Roy Bookbinder, Albert Lee, and Peter Asher. Mm-hmm. Recently. When we go back, memory gets fuzzy.
You ever see Norman Blake?
I saw Norman the first time in Pennsylvania, in the mid-'70s. I have an autographed poster.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. When I heard Norman, I was playing some square dances. I had some Neil Young and John Prine stuff down. But I heard Norman, and it drew me more into the Americana, what we're calling now.
Yeah.
Square dance, what more you can do with driving a bluegrass style guitar. So yeah, I heard Norman and Nancy first in the mid '70s.
Mm-hmm. Cool. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So when you're playing bluegrass, how far out of you have your fundamental sort of boom chuck, bass notes, bass runs with a chord on top. How far outside of that do you like to get, or do you even mess with that? What's your mental? What are you thinking when you sit down on a bluegrass song?
I play real strong backup groove.
Yeah,
I'm strong. I push it.
Yeah, meaning
I'm syncopating it. And Clarence was my model in that. He was one of the strongest backup players that you've ever heard. Mm-hmm. He played syncopated. He played out of the beat, out of rhythm.
Yeah.
And I like that. So if I'm going to play... see how I anticipated that first note? I know where the beat is, but I'm going to be ahead of it there. I'm going to anticipate that. So and then I might throw a Tony Rice thing in there, which is that.
Yeah.
Which is a G9, not a 7. I've got the A note in there. Before I go to the 4 chord. So those couple things in the...
Yeah.
And again, a lot of those things are not... that Clarence didn't invent them. You hear Riley Puckett. Riley Puckett was that strong of a backup rhythm guitar player back in his day in the 30s. So that didn't come out of nowhere, but
sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
Clarence's brother Eric used to say, "Stop that," because he'd be messing with the time on a song.
It is confusing. I mean, I've sat down to try and learn, a Clarence break and try and wrap my head around what he's doing there, and it's falling outside of the lines so much that it can be confusing. But you listen to it in context, and it works pretty well. It's
if your band is with you.
If your band is on it, then you can go outside of it. That's one of those nuanced things that where the band has to be listening to the soloist, but not too much, because they could throw the band off if you're
even on the backup behind a vocal. It might throw the singer off too. So you're more careful in that place.
Yeah. So when was the first time you saw or heard Tony Rice?
Probably on the Grissman record, the first Grissman quintet record.
Right. Yeah, let's see what all the Grissman hits are on there, huh? Like EMD, and
Rattlesnake 57, Opus 57.
Yeah. So, what, in your opinion, what sets that apart, or what elevates that record, those songs, sort of the dog sound?
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and bluegrass?
Well, on EMD, for example, we know it's E minor and C7. That's the jam part, right? But later, through the miracle of YouTube, when I can see all these things, wonderful? Which I didn't have at the time, I didn't know that. So if Tony's up here at the 7th fret on an E minor, he's got an E minor 11th. So he's got I'm barring 5 strings at the 5th fret, 6 strings open. Then I'm playing the 8th fret on the B string, which gives me this is an E11, a suspended feel. Mm-hmm. And then right there, I got a C9. I changed to what looks like a parallelogram. So if I've got that going...
Yeah. You're almost dodging the root entirely.
Yeah. That's an E in the bass on a C, which is the 3rd. So you can leave that open on the bottom too. Mm-hmm. But it sounds better muted.
Yeah.
So
that sounds to me like my favorite things when Tony does.
Yeah, Tony does the riff, which is the one minor chord, 2, 3 major.
Right.
So you got. That vamp is just the root as a minor 7th, 2 chord minor 7th, 3 as a major 9th I'm playing. Mm-hmm. So again, Tony was I think learning from John Carlini when he was hanging out with Grissman in those days, and I'm sure he picked up jazz from Carlini.
Yeah. So in the as far the as far as the timeline goes. The New South, was that after the Grissman record? The first J.D. Crowe record?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I mean, it was around the same era, but wildly different styles,
Yeah.
It seemed like that first J.D. Crowe record is pretty straightforward.
By coincidence, I was working at that Holiday Inn where J.D. Crowe was playing in Lexington.
Oh, is that right?
A couple years after he had stopped. So I think I got there in 70, I don't remember, 76, 6 maybe or 5.
Wow.
And I think he was there in the earlier part of the 70s.
Yeah.
And I peeked in there. They did have bluegrass in the lounge. I peeked in there, but I was working in the kitchen. And in the daytime, I was working on a horse farm in Lexington.
Huh.
I sort of lit out for Nashville from Pennsylvania and made it as far as Lexington.
Yeah,
I think I got stuck there. But, yeah. So the timeline, again, you'd have to read that Rounder 44.
Uh-huh.
If you'd warned me ahead of time, I would have got it straight.
No, I got to get that, yeah. Well, no, it's, you know.
Yeah. I would have read up on it if you'd told me. You were going to ask me that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But no, that's
he did both. He got an offer from Rounder to do a bluegrass record.
Yeah.
But that was what the first that was the first bluegrass band record that came out. That's what the Rounder 44
That's
story.
right. Same guys.
Again, what preceded that was, he was in the Bluegrass Alliance with Sam Bush.
Uh-huh. And Vince Gill's in that band, is that right?
I'm not sure.
I have a recording that is labeled Bluegrass Alliance, and it's like an 18-year-old Vince Gill singing lead.
Well, he was out here too, and with
that's right.
a California band called California with
California.
Byron Berline.
Doyle Lawson's in that band?
Byron Berline was.
Yeah, it's wild. So a lot of people don't even realize this, but California has had and a long time ago was a major center for bluegrass and country guys.
Country, Maddox Brothers and Rose, and Joe Maphis and so forth. Yeah,
a lot of people don't understand that, and it makes sense. But
Buck, of course.
Sure, of course. You have Bakersfield. Then you have Clarence White, Roland White, and
Tony's father was in the Golden State Boys, I believe.
It wasn't the first Tony Rice solo record, Manzanita. Was that recorded out here?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I would have looked it up if you were.
Yeah, well,
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, speaking of country music, let's do this one here. This Marshall Tucker band, Desert Sky. How did you land on this song?
Well, I was a Marshall Tucker fan since I saw him live. I'm pretty sure. Memory's getting foggy. Sure. I think I was at Englishtown, 70. Grateful Dead, Englishtown. It was a very large gathering. I don't know, a couple 100,000.
Wow.
300, 400.
Where was that?
Englishtown, New Jersey.
Okay.
I forget what year that was, mid-70s. But Marshall Tucker was there. I think New Riders of Purple Sage and Grateful Dead. Mm-hmm. So I was a fan. I was a fan of country rock. I was in a band, again, when I was in my 20s, that we did Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker, Allman Brothers, Eagles.
Did you get to see all those bands?
I saw the Eagles first time mid-70s, and Bernie had already left. So Joe Walsh was in the band already at that time. So I didn't see him in their first 3 album setup, but because I'm a Bernie fan, obviously, banjo and pedal steel. But I didn't see them with Bernie. Who else would that be? Allman Brothers? Yeah, I did see Allman Brothers 72, and Dwayne has gone already. He was killed in 70, 71, I believe.
Right, exactly.
And that was a Ramblin' Man tour, so they were huge. And who else was that?
Grateful Dead had.
Oh yeah, I mean, I believe I saw him in the Keith and Donna era. I'm pretty sure I did. And then in the mid '80s again, I saw him with Brent. I saw Jerry Garcia band a couple times.
Cool.
Saw Jerry solo not solo. He had John Conn on bass with him. Yeah, I saw that set up. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I've heard some of those recordings, and that's a pretty uncommon treat of a show, Mm-hmm. But let's do this. Let's do this. Desert
this is Marshall
Sky.
Tucker. Yeah. All right. This is something I do with Deputy Dave and the Regulators. This is Desert Sky. Hey, I'm riding along, singing the same old cowboy song that's been sung 100 times before. name. I'm the only one I know is to blame, but I'm living. I'm happy and I'm free. I like to listen to the wind blow. Let it blow, let it blow. Sand over my trail. Got my saddle on the ground. That old moon, it can still be found hiding neath the desert sky. I like the good things in life, like a prairie breeze, good stout horse between my knees. Just being alone, just being me. When I die, let me die with a dream on my mind. Smile on my face, my troubles behind. No cross on my grave to show my resting place. Let me listen to the wind blow. Let it blow, let it blow. Sand over my trail. Got my saddle on the ground. That old moon, it can still be found hiding neath the desert sky. Here comes Andy. Chaps on and my 6-gun at my side. I watch the moon hiding beneath the desert sky. Just hiding beneath the desert sky. Hiding beneath the desert sky. Giddy up.
Yeah. Very nice, Dave.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Now, that was a good jam.
Yeah. You know, E, something about the key of E on the guitar, it's almost like it was made for it.
But you play some other notes there besides
I did
E.
play a couple other notes in there. So tell me about what you're doing nowadays. You mentioned Deputy Dave and the Regulators. I've done a handful of those gigs with you. Always a lot of fun. A great song list. Mm-hmm. I was always really excited about those song lists because
thanks.
There's a lot of Old and in the Way on there, and a lot of just kind of classic, you know, country songs and California sound, and just a great list. So tell me about that and what you have in the future and kind of how that came about.
Okay, I started playing Western songs that were in my set list. Even as a young man, I would do my solo gigs. I had Don't Fence Me In and Whoopie-Tie-I-O, and a James Taylor song and John Prine and Neil Young. That was my set list if I had a solo gig somewhere. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I was able to work in the Western songs. I did not realize eventually that I would be out here in Los Angeles and be in the Western Music Association.
Yeah.
And in the monthly showcase at the Autry Museum, the Gene Autry Museum.
Yeah.
And there's some very talented people there that come and sing their original music and covers. So I'm in the Western Music Association, and occasionally they'll give me a showcase at Viva Cantina. and we do that monthly showcase there. So that's a privilege and an honor to be there. And I just keep developing. I keep reaching for more material and bringing it out and polishing it up. And there's a song I want to do. I just heard Buddies in the Saddle on somebody else's record and found out it was the Carter family used to do it.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, and then I did it there. So it's sort of I'm playing for my own amusement. There just happens to be some people there
that's
that
great,
like
man.
it too.
That's great. That's that's what I'm saying. You just pick a list of songs
things that amuse me
that you like, and chances are other people are going to like it too.
Chances are, right? And I hope they do. But so that Western music, the Western music is that I do again is partially what we just did.
Yeah,
some swing, and it can be some of the bluegrass as well with the Western theme. There's certainly room for that. So my bluegrass guitar expertise comes in, and it just happens to be a song that has a bluegrass theme, a Western theme, whether it's the landscape, a horse, or like a song like Miss Molly that Bob Wills used to do that just, it's really about a relationship, but it just has one line in there where he says, I'll trade my horse and saddle. Cow driving, I'll resign. If only Miss Molly, you'd be mine. Okay, boom, Western song.
Yeah, right. Qualifies.
Yeah, qualifies. And I've done Willin' there, which is...
Yeah, Little Feat.
Little Feat, which is a truck driving song.
Love that song.
But how he mentions the Western landscape. Tucson
talking about
to Tucumcari,
Tehachapi.
Tehachapi to Tonopah. It's the modern cowboy driving his freight down the trail.
Yep.
And
driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. Love that line.
Smuggled smokes and folks from Mexico.
Yeah.
So, modern songs qualify in the Western as alluding to something of the West. So as I'm involved in the Western Music Association, we that's what we want from the people to showcase. And if somebody does just a Merle song like Silver Wings, we appreciate it, but we say, give me more.
It's not deep. Not deep enough. Yeah.
Give me more Western material. So,
well, that's really cool. I mean, just like bluegrass and a lot of these other styles, we need these groups and we need these players to keep the music going and to keep it alive, and not just on the recorded versions. I love listening to old recordings too, but to do it live and to have a showcase for an audience, I think is really important. And that's how bluegrass has survived. If you take away the festivals, there's no bluegrass anymore. It's really important, I think, to have that. So I think it's cool that you do that.
So I'm preserving.
Exactly.
I'm not an ethnomusicologist.
No,
but
you're keeping it alive.
I study the music, and I just don't have that credential. But I'm an amateur ethnomusicologist.
Yeah, there you go.
I've done everything from fingerstyle blues. I met Sonny Terry and Brian McGee.
Oh, cool.
Sonny Terry let me hold his harmonica. I said, what kind is that, Sonny? He said, Golden Melody. I said, all right, I'll go get one. Yeah, I know. And I do bossa nova. I do other styles. But that's the Western, the bluegrass music I've done for a long time. I've never been in a good bluegrass band until I came to Los Angeles. I play bluegrass and we did some stuff, but the level of players out here is just astounding.
Yeah.
And the jams that we're in, many times, are better than any band I've ever been in.
Yeah.
But the last few years, if I get a showcase, I go out under my own name.
Yeah.
I would like to be in a band.
And just put a band together.
But I would like to be in a band where I don't have to worry about everything all the time. But,
hey, I hear that.
But I don't have enough.
It's a lot.
It just hadn't happened yet, or so forth. But those are two things, and then the gypsy jazz I do.
Mm-hmm. So is there where do you go to find the gypsy community?
Well, again, through the miracle of Facebook and so forth,
right.
we know each other. And we go to each other's gigs. At Joe's in Burbank, goes Joe's Great American.
Yeah.
Monday night they have swing dancers. And a lot of the bands they have are Hedgehog Swing and Icy Hot Club of California, which are really gypsy jazz bands.
Right.
And they just play more of the swing
half that's
of gypsy
something
jazz.
that I've had a very small amount of sort of academic background in. I've touched on Django and that kind of thing, but I've never really dove in as much as I dove into bluegrass, as much similarity as there is there. But that's something I could see myself really. I'd be interested to get a little deeper into the gypsy jazz world.
Uh-huh.
It's taking solos is what takes me out of it.
True.
it's way different from the diatonic bluesy stuff in bluegrass. There's a lot of
sweeps and a lot of ornamented arpeggios. For example, I don't know, the first swing rhythm guitar is, there's a lot of left hand where you mute. I'm going to play the chord and then let off the pressure on there, and you're going to hear, that's a G minor 6, but I went to a major, but I went from the 1, the 2, A minor, a diminished chord, half step higher, and then G with the 3rd and the bass at the B, the 7th fret. So I got movement there. There's a lot of that in swing guitar. So if you learn the essence of swing guitar, and you look at the chord structure for the gypsy jazz canon, then you're ready to sit in. The arpeggios and stuff are. This is just a 7th arpeggio. I'm starting on the root. 7, flat 9 on the top. Yeah, a lot of movement and sweeps like. That's a diminished or whole tone.
Yeah.
And diminished sweeps. Sweeps.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But when I usually play rhythm for players that I defer to their solos because there's so many good players.
Fiddle or clarinet, or who do you like to back up?
Both.
Yeah.
I've been playing lately with Sean Oshmiansky on clarinet. He's one of the best I've ever heard.
Cool.
Fiddle players, I get to play sometimes with Ted Falcon, a lot with Steve Rosenstein, who lives down the street from here.
Swing, yeah.
Yeah, he swings great. He plays bluegrass great. A lot of great players here in LA. Very fortunate.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. The Chisholm Trail. This is one that Deputy Dave and the Regulators play.
Are we G on this one?
That's your call.
Let's do it G.
Chisholm Trail. So whose song is this? Is this one?
Well, it's an old cowboy trail song. You look it up, and it could be adapted by Woody Guthrie, who may have written a page full of additional lyrics. But I just took a few out of it. We'll do a few of them.
Sounds good.
There's a little yodel in there, but it ain't much of a yodel, so don't turn us off. Don't turn us off right now. Come along, boys, listen to my tale. Tell you about my troubles on the old Chisholm Trail. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. Woke up one morning on the Chisholm Trail with a rope in my hand and a cow by the tail. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. Started up the trail October 23rd. Went up the trail with a bartender herd. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. It's cloudy in the west, it looks like rain. My dang old slicker's in the wagon again. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. One more. $10 horse, $40 saddle. I'm a-gonna rope and those longhorn cattle. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. We'll take them up Kansas, we'll put them in the pen. That'll be the last of the old bartend. Come a kaya, yippee, 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 yay. Come a kaya, yippee, yippee, yay. saddle and a seat to the sky. Quit my boss and I said goodbye. Come a yippee, 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 come a yippee, yippee. Well, I sold my horse, sold my saddle, bid farewell to the longhorn cattle. Come a yippee, 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 come a yippee, yippee.
Yeah.
I hope didn't scare anybody with that last little one there. Good harmony on that.
Oh man, giant.
Yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned earlier the Autry, Gene Autry, the museum out there. I went out there one time with you. It was really cool. I'd never even been out to that museum. But tell me a little bit about Gene Autry, about the museum, and about the is it a monthly showcase there, right?
Monthly showcase from the Western Music Association inside the Gene Autry Museum, or it's called the Heritage West of the West, officially something, but it's the Gene Autry Museum in Burbank, right across from the zoo. 12 to 3. You do pay museum admission charge to get in. If you're in part of the showcase, there's 10, 12, I don't know what it is. But then you have access to the complete museum. Also, you can see a couple of his guitars and huge pistol collection and artifacts of the West and art exhibits of Western themed artists inside the museum.
Yeah. And that's every third
Sunday. 12 to 3.
Yeah, very cool. I know next time I am able to make that one, I want to go out and do El Paso.
Oh, please.
I'm going to have to. It's a long one, man. There's an awful lot of verses of that song.
We'll do it today if you want to.
Certainly could try. I don't know.
And not only the lyrics are so cool, it's that all the Grady Martin fill licks in there. Yeah.
Well, let's close it out here and do the Long Journey Home. This is a good one, a good bluegrass song.
Let's go up to A on this one.
Up to A. It's a good one for the jams.
2 notches on that one.
Yep. Long Journey Home, and we were talking about this earlier. We're not certain whose song this was originally. It was just kind of the old bluegrass ether.
Yeah, I heard it first from Doc Watson and Dog, Dave Grisman, Doc and Dog. But I think they were copying the Monroe Brothers from the 30s. Yeah, Bill and Charlie. And what was the third brother? Come on now, Birch.
Birch, that's right.
Birch.
I'm reading that book right now.
It's a quiz right now. What was his horse's name? Mr. Wilkie or something.
King Wilkie. That's right. Long Journey Home.
Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. And I'm on my long journey home. Dark clouds are rising and it sure looks like rain. Sure looks like rain, yeah, sure looks like rain. Dark clouds rising and it sure looks like rain. And I'm on my long journey home. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home. Yeah. Black smoke rising, surely is a train. Surely is a train, Lord, surely is a train. Dark clouds rising, surely is a train. And I'm on my long journey home. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. And I'm on my long journey home.
Go ahead, Dave.
mighty blue. Homesick and lonesome, and I'm feeling mighty blue. And I'm on my long journey home. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. $2 bill, Lord, a $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. And I'm on my long journey home. Yeah, boy.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you for listening. Mr. Dave Volk, thank you so much for being here.
See you later, Saddle Pals.